Jungle.
Hello there, this is Nikolai, the manga boomer.
And I am Kai, the anime zoomer. And this is our podcast, Anime Zoomer.
And manga boomer. Hello there. In today's episode 22, we will roast our behavior in the podcast, our manga taste, and reflect on how it is to actually do a podcast in social media. Disclaimer, the roasting is just for fun and content, plus to talk about the podcast and possibly improve it. So, my first roast. I want to ask you, can you really call yourself the romance connoisseur without consuming shoujo and josei? Because romance is in those two demographics equivalent to shonen action for battle shonen action for the shonen demographic. So you are not so you call yourself a romance connoisseur while not watching the biggest market or consuming the biggest market for romance.
True.
And yes, I know not that many shoujo animes get produced, but there are a lot of mangas which you can read online.
So, what do you consider shoujo?
It's a demographic.
Yeah, which one?
You mean serious or
Yeah.
general explanation?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Shoujo is anime or manga written for girls basically, and the equivalent shonen is for boys, while seinen is for adults and josei is for grown-up females.
So, why should I watch shoujo when I'm not even a female?
Because the romance is better. It's actual romance, not tropey trash and shonen with fan service.
That's true,
If you just
but
want to see good relationships, then plus relationships. Most shonen romances are about beginning a relationship and the stuff before the
yeah,
relationship. And in a lot of shoujo and josei, it is about the relationship. An example for josei you've probably watched is Wotokoi, right?
yeah, Wotakoi.
Genau. The relationship starts immediately, and the show is about the two couples having their relationship.
Hmm, I see. So I have watched one shoujo at least.
Yes. I think it would broaden your horizon. Because it's just an
Uh,
interesting perspective to watch more stuff, people who are in a relationship and not people getting into a relationship.
yes, but I'm single, so I have to watch how others get into a relationship first.
True. Important advice.
So if I'm in a relationship, maybe I'll watch more Jojo with a girlfriend.
Yes.
So,
Plus, there are
I-
some good shoujo action series, which could be a
hmm,
good stepping stone for you. Can watch Yona. It's pretty good.
do you consider Citrus as shoujo?
No, don't think so. I think Citrus is definitely written for boys.
Hmm,
There's, for
okay.
example, also the term male and female gaze. And the term male gaze means what males find attractive, and female gaze is what females find attractive. For example, in shoujo manga, a lot of male characters look, for example, like Gojo. They are drawn very attractively, and the women find them attractively.
Hmm, hmm, I see. Yeah, but I consider myself as a romance connoisseur, even though I don't watch shoujo. Back to your question. Because I love to see how people get into their relationship and have their hardships and stuff. It just feels nice to see how the persons grow. Yeah,
Yes, I also like the Roman genre. In terms of numbers, I might be on your level.
I think so. It could literally be a draw, or
Yes.
maybe.
I mean, I'm
I,
older than you. Because of that, I had more time consuming more shows.
true
That's a
that.
huge advantage.
And you started earlier than me, I think, with
Yes.
your journey. I mean, I'm in the business since 2019 or something, 2020, and I wasn't actively watching t- since 2021 or 22, maybe.
I mean, I started broadening my horizon at the same time, probably. Maybe 1 or 2 years earlier. Before that, I was just a shonen bro.
Hmm. So yeah, but where's your bloodline in your fantasy anime that is so much like there's no blood, so it's kind of boring.
Uh, what?
Yeah, you watch fantasy like Dungeon Meshi, Frieren,
Yes.
so there's no bloodline, or there's no active blood at least. So how do you enjoy them then?
We haven't reached the part where there is an active plot line. That's the
Yeah, but
problem
it's
from your examples. That's
I
why I want
watched
to make episodes about beginnings.
I watched one episode of Dungeon Meshi with friends, and it was like episode 7 or 8, and I was so bored when I watched this.
The real plotline should probably start in season 2 from the episode count, or in the second season that is coming, because I think the show was pretty successful. The
But why
first
does it all?
5 or 6 volumes are more like villain of the week or monster of the week.
So why does it start so late? I need to plot it for. You have to see where it's going, where it starts, and
Plus,
so
Dungeon
on.
Meshi is a kind of a love letter to D&D players, and I'm a huge D&D player, so that's why I enjoy this personal show. In D&D, when you're a dungeon master, you have also a book with all of these monsters which are in Dungeon Meshi. And it's just cool to interact them, see their lore. It's nice for a D&D player who's also a DM at times.
I think it's so boring.
And the point of Fearing is that it's just a slice of life turning show where you have some arcs but no overall plot.
You know, I'm not that much into slice of life. I watched only a few.
Yes.
And if I would watch Frieren, I would save, sit on my phone and scroll Insta or something.
You see, you're too young for this.
Hmm,
If
you
you're
think
saying
so?
this while critiquing Fearing, then you definitely missed the point of a show. Because you need to enjoy the little things, not doom scrolling. That's what the show tells you. To find worth in your time. Even if it's just a short moment. It can be worth found everywhere, in every random little journey and every small thing. That's
Yeah,
why there
but
shouldn't
it's
be
not.
an overall overarching plot line.
But it's not my type. I have to watch battle, shown, or romance. That's my type.
Yes. Are you finished with your roast? Because I have a counter roast to that topic.
Yes, yes.
Bro needs to watch more shows with a serious plotline or good written characters. If you are fronting me with plot lines, then I had that one on my list too. I think
Ah,
in your top 10, one
yeah.
one there's One Piece, yes.
Hmm.
But I don't see another show where I think, oh, that show is there because the plot or the characters are good. I mean,
Ah,
really, really good. S tier.
ReZero has such a good plot point.
True, I forgot ReZero. My bad. Then the other eight. I
Ah,
forgot that ReZero was there. That is true.
hmm. I do enjoy plots sometimes, but sometimes
Everybody
I like.
enjoys should enjoy plot.
But I also like to enjoy some raw action or some good romance.
Yes. I mean, I for example Sunken Rock in my top 10 where the plot is, yeah, it's
Violent.
muscly dudes fighting each other and it's very violent and edgy. So
Yeah,
that's therefore.
violence.
Mm,
But would you consider Blue Lock to have a good plot?
no,
Why would you think so?
because the plot is just one tournament. I think it's really hard in general for sports shows or tournaments to have a good plot. The tournament can be written good, but the plot is still one thing. So you don't have, for
Yeah,
example, a change of scenery, a change of settings. It's pretty much the same. You go
true
from
that. Yeah.
training to training and from game to game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Plus, you don't see the people besides the tournament a lot, or how they act in their normal lives, for example.
I think Blue Lock,
Besides some flashbacks, of course.
yes, but I think Blue Lock does it well with the side characters.
Yes. I mean,
I
even
mean, Nagi,
though, well, continue.
Nagi had a movie. You get flashbacks from Shigiri, and
Yes.
even the Bachira flashback was well made.
Mm. And even though I don't think sports anime have that much of a good plot with for example, twist and turns, build-ups, and so, good sports anime are still written really well because they need to have tension and excitement. So you can't say that these shows are badly written in general.
Mm. Definitely. So you also like some isekai, some generic trash isekai.
That's what you think.
I think you said something like this.
Yes, it's fast food. It's like you are also watching your trashy romance shows. Everybody has their comfort food.
True, true. But you have OP powers and no training arc and so on. You
Depends on
like
the
it?
depends on the show. And training arcs are as they are really good.
Yeah.
And for example, I like often also isekais that are not, also the top isekais for me are not your standard isekais. Yeah, for example, Eminence in Shadow is a complete subversion of the isekai genre. Because little
Yes.
bro does not care about the world that he's in. He's just role playing his own thing, and the world bends to his will.
Mm. But what's the plot of Eminence? Does it have a huge plot?
The plot is actually written kinda well. Because you have one plot line where all the other characters are. It's a solid, okay written plot line. Then you have whatever the fuck Sid is doing, the main character. And you have those plot lines working parallel towards each other and then converging at some point. And I think this aspect is the author's handling really well. But it's
Mm.
obviously not comparable towards your top tier seinen.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in terms of compared to the other isekais, it is a solid B plus tier in
I
terms of
see.
plot. Do you want to say something else about the isekai genre, or
So, I think the most isekai are generic, and
yes,
every almost every time the main character gets underestimated, and then he fights some bad villain, and then some everybody is shocked.
they also always look the same.
Yeah, like Kirito.
Yes,
So I don't know. I don't like those generic isekais.
yes.
I mean, I like good isekais like Mushoku, ReZero.
But I think the generic ones need to exist so that shows can subvert or parody the expectations, like Eminence or Konosuba.
So you
Because,
watch them for research, basically.
yes. Plus, I don't read that much isekai anymore. I have my 5 or 6 comfort isekai where I buy the ones when they're coming out, but I think I only have bought 2 or 3 isekai series this year.
Mhm.
New ones, obviously. I forgot that the most important word.
Mhm. So I'm coming concluded with that point.
Good. So, my next roast has nothing to do with series. It's Bro needs to be more active and invest in a bit more time in the podcast. It was definitely worse in the beginning. Your upload schedule from shorts was non existent, but you fixed it.
Yeah.
That's good. You need to keep the pace up.
Uh,
But you need to make a bit more progress with the recommendation segment.
yeah.
You don't need to read the whole things, but at least a few chapters that we can talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm really busy with gaming. I'm such a gamer.
Yes, look, just read a few chapters. Even I was busy this week with uni. Because you remember, I said that I would not have time to watch your show that you recommend me in the last episode. And I still watched 2 episodes because I managed to get some time.
That's good.
So
Yeah, but
even if you just read 30 minutes a week, when it's 5 chapters or something, better than nothing.
true.
Nobody expects us to read a whole series in a week.
Yeah,
So
but my
just,
upload schedule was really, yeah,
yes, but now it's fixed. Or at least consistent at most times.
yes.
That's good. And I think you found a bit of more fun in creating shorts. You said that
Dude,
you are pouring a lot of work into your last one.
it was a lot of work. Holy. Oh, I've checked the game that I played today, and I have 250 hours in this game.
With
Uh,
rookie numbers.
yeah, I mean it could take some time when you play it, but I don't play it that much. But when I play it, I play some few rounds. I'm talking about Sid Meier's. Do you know it?
Sif, yes.
But my main game, Rocket League, I have over 1,000 hours in Rainbow.
Still rookie numbers. If I would
Yeah,
count my league hours, I need to find a stat where I can check my whole history. It could be probably half a year. I'm playing League since
Uh,
10 years, so even though I'm making
That's
a pause right now.
that's crazy.
I mean, when I'm playing it since school, and when you're playing like 3 or 4 hours after school a day, and even times where I was playing it casually, I still play it once an evening per week, with also 3 hours or 4.
Mm.
Those numbers add up when you're playing one game 10 years.
Yeah. But I play different games, so my time is separated.
I mean, I also have 1,500 hours in Genshin.
That's
And
cringe though.
ah, you need to collect the waifus.
So you mean you basically skip dialogues for 1,000 hours?
No,
Yes, Genshin is basically dialogue skipping.
I, I read the dialogues, at least in the important quests. The
So it's
side, the
another
side,
road against you.
the side quests and the filler quests are obviously skipped.
Mhm, mhm.
So, do you want to go on with your next? Ah,
I mean,
I have
l-
another thing considered for a podcast if we are staying at that
mhm,
topic.
yeah,
It's a bit more behind the scene, but you need to be a bit more proactive in terms of bringing in ideas.
yeah. I mean, I'm not really creative, and you know that.
Yes, but we had one creative outburst a few videos, so we're creative and cutted it together passionately. So maybe a
I
moment
mean,
will come someday when you have an idea for a banger episode. Then you need to write it down immediately.
and if it gets a banger, you know that I have written it or I have had the idea to it. I mean, you had some pretty good episodes too.
I was expecting a butt, so now you can go on with your next roast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you like Oshinoko, and I had to roast it up with you about it. Do you still enjoy Oshinoko when things happened?
Says the guy who likes No Game No Life.
There isn't any explicit scene, and it isn't any
you need to
further than
ask.
the.
You need to ask me when I've read the scene. It still
I
hasn't
mean,
happened in the physical manga.
but you heard about it already.
And
So, but you still enjoy it when you see it, and
I need the context. If I
yeah,
have the
I mean
context, then
it's.
I can judge it. That's the
I mean
problem
it's.
with this discussion.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious what the content is.
Yes, but for example, if it's not plot relevant, and if it does not have a huge influence on the plot, then yeah, it's unnecessary, it's dumb, but you can ignore it. But if this action triggers a huge plot point which has a big influence upon the ending, then my reaction would be obviously meh. That's why I need the context to judge it.
See.
In general, for most spoilers, you need context to judge them. If they are story related spoilers, if the spoilers are for a certain other scene that, person X fight X Y Z A B C, and that's it for 50 chapters, and person X has only plot armor, then yeah, I don't need context. That's just dumb. And then the person gets defeated in a dumb way. I think you know the show that I mean, right?
Yeah.
For those spoilers, I don't need context to know that it's bad. But I can understand that you're on the fence about the Oshinoko spoilers.
The ending, I've seen the ending already because I wanted to know what it's gonna end
I've
like.
only seen one picture, which I got spoiled, but without context, I don't want to talk about it because
And I
I
can. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to get spoiled for the ending. So
Mm.
even though I've seen the picture, that's why you should proceed with caution.
So for me, I don't know if I will like Oshinoko the same. I mean, season. I mean, season two was good, and I really liked it. But it was still in my head that there was going to happen this scene, and yeah, I mean, it's not a good thing that I have it in my head when watching this anime. Yeah, I don't know. I will continue it, but yeah, with some, what would you call it?
Bias.
Hintergrund. Yeah.
You're biased because of your knowledge what's going to happen in the future.
Mm.
Also, for me, the scene maybe find it's not that bad because I've read way worse in seinen, so
I see.
there are some horrendous scenes. So something like this is no shocker when you know what's happening in the eclipse and you are seeing it in every detail. Because from what I know, the scene in Oshinoko is not detailed, obviously, while the eclipse is, yeah, very detailed.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I think it's about it for my point.
Okay, then I think you should talk about more shows as example that you like when you are proving a point. Because it was so hard for me to judge your top 10 and what you like. I know a handful of shows that you like, but it's only a handful. The same could be said for me, obviously. I'm talking is about the same shows always, too. So we need to have a bit more diversity in that department.
Mhm.
Also, because of that, reviewers would be getting more recommendations. Good example is Grace and Panzer was on your third place, right? In your top 10.
Right?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
I said, yeah. I don't know I said yeah, but
well,
Discord didn't say I said something.
I understand. I thought I was bugging out, so
Yeah, me too.
weird. So, Girls on Panzer was on the top 3, you confirmed that. But you've
Mm.
never mentioned it. Maybe you mentioned it in the first episode, but if it's on your top 3, you could mention it a bit more. That's
Yes,
what I
but
mean.
it's so niche that I don't talk about it that much because nobody knows it, or at least most of the people knows it.
That that should
And
that should not matter. If a show is niche and you love it to your heart, then tell it to people that they should watch it and get to know the show.
I mean the title is basically the anime. You can There are
You've
girls who write things.
you fronted me for reading Isekai. Their titles are awesome, anime. Or another example is Bunny Girl Senpai. I think you don't
Mm.
talk about a show that much, even though we are talking a lot about romances.
Mm. I mean, it's a long time ago that I watched it, so it's definitely some time bias that it's in my top 10 anime.
Top tens are always biased.
So, yeah, that's. I don't have that much memory of it, so I can't really talk about it anymore because it's so long ago that I watched it. That's why I don't talk about most of my top 10 list
I
because it's a long time ago that I watched it, and yeah,
Then you should
I can't
rewatch them.
really remember it. I have some scenes in my head when I talk about the anime
Yes, there's one really kind of famous scene from Bunny Girl
from,
Senpai.
yeah,
Not the bodysuit, the confession.
I know, yeah. So it's really hard to talk about my top 10 or bring them more into our podcast because I don't really remember much. I mean, I don't remember much of No Game No Life, to be honest.
Understandable, there's nothing to remember.
There is.
Then you would remember it.
Yeah, but I could definitely take some anime that I frequently like more into account and tell more about them.
Yes, every anime you mentioned could be a recommendation for someone. And that could be
Hmm,
the favorite series of someone.
true.
So, my next one is pretty simple. You need to be more confrontive doing the normal recordings. We need more drama and beef and roasts. You know how the internet works. Without beef and drama, there are no views.
But I'm just a chill guy. I'm the chill guy
I'm also
meme.
chill, but I like to front you for content.
Ah, remember it, viewers. He wants to use me as content.
Obviously. Mine, I mean, the episode is more entertaining because of that.
Hmm.
For example, I don't mind the Demon Slayers in your top one. You can have your opinion. That's fine. I think Demon Slayer is not even that bad, but I still like to front you because of that for content. I think it makes the episode a bit more entertaining. It's not that stale and bland because of that.
Hmm. So it brings more funny and laughing into it.
Yes, because at most of the time there's a reaction. For example, you, whenever we are talking about freedom that you find it boring, I need to react. I need to defend it.
Mm.
And then there's content because of that.
True.
So you should do more of this
Yeah.
for a better dynamic. Because we are still doing a podcast in good faith, even though I front you and sometimes it's just meant as a funny thing.
And we are really fine with it
Yes.
as long as it's not personal, but we don't get personal.
Yes. No insults.
Yeah.
I think that's it for this quick one. If you don't have anything else to add.
No, I don't. Dude, I was scrolling through your list right now, and what have I seen there, broski? What is this? Wait, where is it? Asumi-chan is interested in lesbian brothers. What
Yes.
the fuck is this shit?
That's called Yuri.
Broski. No way.
You have H anime on your list as well. Don't pretend.
Nah, nah,
Yes, you have. I've seen them. You have H anime on my anime list. Don't
nah, nah,
even
nah.
try. What is overfloated? A wholesome family show. Alright,
Yeah.
I remember. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I will search for the As Azumi-chan.
You have also a show where other steps things happen. Step sibling
What
things
do you
happen.
mean?
The problem is when I'm saying this, then I'm exposing myself because when I'm exposing you for it, then and explaining what happens, then I say that I know it too.
Yep.
But I spotted the things on your list. Don't pretend to hide it.
I don't hide anything. I'm a clean guy.
Yes, yes. I mean, I've read Worse and Harem too, so and Prisons and Prison School. Even though Prison School isn't that bad compared to the other two. Sometimes a man needs to do what a man needs to do.
Hmm. What the hell is this?
I also find it
I
funny that you have some step sibling things on your age things on your list. Then fronting Oshinoko, you're clearly drawing a line, but on the other hand, the step sibling stuff is you can see yourself in that situation, right?
no. I
Oh, 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 oh.
I was
Yes,
watching it for research
yes, yes.
purposes.
True. For
I was
research.
I wasn't watching with any consent.
With
Not
any
at all.
with any consent. So it randomly
Hmm.
opened on your PC. On your PC. And you couldn't do anything against it.
I just wanted to check it out, what it's about, and then I watched the 6 episodes and I was disgusted.
Ah.
Mm. Broski. What the hell is Azumi-chan is interested in a lesbian protest?
Yes, yes. You watch some of
Nah,
those too.
nah, bro. You can't be serious with that.
Why?
Nah, I don't know.
You've watched some H anime too, don't hide it. I don't argue against it, you are arguing against it. If you are digging, I am digging as well.
I have I've watched only two anime for
Yes, yes.
research. For
For,
research.
for research, he's defending himself.
Nah. If I would like it, then I would watch more.
Yes, but you're not listing your porn that you watch on the internet on some random list.
I mean, there's definitely someone who does this. Safe.
Safe,
It's
yes.
the internet.
Oh, it is obviously.
I mean, there are guys who rate porn stars.
Yes. I mean, OnlyFans exists. Then, are you finished with exposing yourself, or should I continue?
I didn't expose myself, but you can go on.
You exposed yourself because you are trying to expose me.
Nah, I
Yes,
was uh,
yes.
I was only scrolling through your through your list, and I saw it, and I was like, bro, no.
The series is also like the twins. Just saying. There are definitely some similarities. So it's something for you potentially. But
Nah.
On to the next point.
Yeah.
I think you should be more critical about your top tens or your favorites. Because at least I think, can you really like something if it has no flaws for you? Because if you think that way, you are just glazing. And if you're glazing, then you're not really liking something. Because you should like something even though it has some flaws. Because there's no flawless thing. That does not
I mean,
exist.
I'm pretty aware with the flaws of Demon Slayer and the flaws of One Piece.
This is, we need to.
I know the flaws of my favorite enemies, and I still defend them.
Yes, that's fine, but we need to bring them up, and you can even defend the flaws, or say that they don't matter to you. When some random guy in the podcast is fronting you for that. Because there were
Yeah,
times when I was telling you that I don't like the current One Piece art and it looked better in the past, where you were saying no.
yeah. I mean, it's your opinion. It's fine. That is your opinion. But for me, I think after time skip has some good moments too that are good drawn and so on.
Yes, some Chainsaw Man Part 2 has also some moments that are good drawn, but the whole part is not good drawn. There are obviously going to be some highlights.
I mean, I like the Loki artwork. Loki is a nice character, well drawn.
Yes,
Abuff is
there's
good drawn.
depends. There are some highlights, but panels after time skip are just so small and scuffed. You need a magnifying glass to read some of that shit. There's no good reading flow and no good paneling. Or not that
Yes,
much good paneling.
I mean, you definitely have some text in One Piece when Oda is trying to save some time and stuff.
Yes, I think you see that he wants to finish the story at times.
Hmm.
I think maybe he's also getting. Let's all just. Uh, he's getting a bit scared because in recent times some big artists have died. Like Toriyama or Miura. Or Takashi
Uh,
from Yu-Gi-Oh!
and he had some health problems too in the last few
Yes.
weeks.
For example, Miura was drawing Berserk for like 30 or even 40 years, but could not finish his story.
Hmm. So I would be really happy if Oda finishes it.
Yes,
And
and
even though it wouldn't be that good, the ending, I would still love One Piece because the moments One Piece gave me, the world One Piece gave me, the community One Piece have, everything.
another good example for people who cannot finish their manga but are still alive is the Hunter x Hunter guy, Togashi.
Hmm.
Yes, he's kind of drawing some pen chapters right now, but his back pain is so bad that he can't draw. The current chapters are basically novels because of that.
Hmm.
So maybe because of that, Oda wants to finish his stories.
Yeah, I think so.
So, do you have another roast? I have one more if you don't have one.
You go with yours and then I check if I have one.
Okay. It has something to do with a recommend segment that we currently have. You
Hmm.
started strong with your recommendations because you recommended me a seinen. I like seinens. Dr. Stone. I like
Hmm.
Boichi. And yes, Code Geass, I had some problems, but it was with the community perception, not per se with the show. But the last two shows were kinda random and stuff that you find okay and like, but you need to recommend me stuff that I possibly like
There's a problem with that, and
based on my
yes,
taste. For example, I
it
try to at least think about when I recommend you some stuff. Do you like
it
it?
it's not all about that. It's also about that you don't have all the streaming services, and that I have some.
I mean, everything should be on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's a big problem for me because I have some anime that aren't on Crunchyroll that I really like to recommend you, but you can't watch them. That's one problem. Another problem is the most of the anime that I've watched, you also watched those. That's another problem.
Yeah, I can get creative. There has to be something. Some romances that I have not watched.
I think you have watched every romance that I've watched too. Uh, that are good. That are good. Be me. Yeah, I've watched some generic romance too.
Yes, same have I.
Yeah, you can see that I dropped a couple of kakus. What's that?
I'm 17 or 18 volumes into the manga.
Days with my stepsister. I dropped Kanojo.
The last one is not that good. The second one
Nisekoi.
I've
I
read.
dropped.
Isekai is old. I've only read the first volume of the manga.
It wasn't for me. Let's say that.
Too much Tsundere.
Yeah, but I think my current recommendation could be to your liking.
Hmm. The first impression was okay. There are some characters that I don't like. The short bimbo. Boring and bad character design. The hairstyle is hideous. But the sporty girl was okay, and I like the blue haired girl. She was funny. And the FC is kind of boring, and his hairstyle is a war crime. So the show is not that aesthetically pleasing right now.
I mean, season 2 gets better.
I'm not going
The
to watch season 2 if I don't like season 1.
There gets a new character introduced in season 2, which I really like. I also like the teacher. She's a nice character.
I haven't seen the teacher. Or at least
Ah,
the teacher hasn't done anything significant so that I need to remember
yeah,
her.
she will get more focus at the end of season 1.
I only watched 2 episodes, so that things can
Yeah,
change
okay,
in the
okay,
future.
yeah, okay.
I hadn't that
You have
much
to
time.
go. You have to go on. It will get good. Trust.
The classic coping mechanism. It's get good trust. A true One Piece fan has spoken.
Yeah.
But at some point we will make an episode about beginnings.
Mm. Um. Yeah, I think I don't have any more left.
Then, do you have anything about for a self-reflection on your taste or on your behavior in the podcast?
I mean, I my role is the quiet listener who rarely talks, but lets you go first with your stuff.
Is this
I
connected with
mean,
one thing that I have with is that to don't interrupt your podcast buddy like I just did and
mm,
talk less.
definitely. But then we would have more silence if you would talk less. That's a big dilemma that we have.
I think
Cause
Sorry. It's also harder to have a conversation online when you're not seeing the other person.
Yeah. Mm. It would be much easier if we were in the same room and
Yes,
talking like normal people with just a mic on.
we're seeing each other's body language because it's sometimes hard to say when one person has finished their point.
Mm.
Because you try to patiently wait and you think your buddy is finished, but he isn't.
Yeah, and I never know when you are finished with your sentence, so I keep on quiet more to listen.
Yes, and I get impatient and try to say something.
Yeah, a big dilemma that we have, to be honest.
Yes. And like I said, I also need to use more examples, more unique examples when I talk about stuff. I also have my things that I say basically every episode. For example, every second or third episode, Boichi is mentioned in terms of art. Or Shinichi Sakamoto will also be mentioned. So I need to give some other examples.
Yeah, definitely. It's always the same examples that you bring. I mean, I'm not better.
Yes.
I have my few examples too.
There are just certain series that have such an imprint on your mind, and when you're thinking manga art, that's the perfect example. This is it. So I think it's quite natural.
Mm.
And the second two things I can combine. I shouldn't bash normie stuff that much and don't look like an elitist because I think at times I can be viewed like a sane elitist, but I'm not a sane elitist because I read too much trash. Because there are those people online who think, oh, plot, story, characters, all horrible. Read this seinen from the GOAT author. And they're discrediting every series just because they're not from the same author. And I
Mm.
hate it when people that do, but at times I'm doing the same. Especially when
True.
Demon Slayer isn't mentioned.
So you hate the mainstream to be unique,
I know, I think
I think.
they're just a popular series with bad plot. I don't like that they're popular with such ass plot.
Yeah, okay.
Because stuff with good plot can be popular too, but people are just not watching it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
still
mean,
some shonen with good plot.
everyone watches what they themselves think it's good.
Yes.
So everyone watches different stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's a mainstream, then it definitely has to be somewhat good. I mean,
I'm not sure about that.
or at least it's
DDK is the
okay.
most selling manga this year, so no. I mean, for
I mean,
example,
it was good.
yes, 3 years ago, the manga, or two.
In the anime, they are not that
Yes, it was
at
recently
that
this year.
point.
But there
The
can
numbers
be. Oh, go on.
the numbers will definitely drop when
Yes,
yeah the whole
it
thing
will. It will make the Demon Slayer.
the culling
Yes,
game arc it's concluded. Then there's a lot of numbers drop.
yes. I mean, Demon Slayer is basically irrelevant right now in the manga
Mm,
community.
yeah,
After it's finished, JJK will do the same.
true.
But what I wanted to say, there can be good shonens with good plot that can be popular. Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titans. Attack on Titans plural wahrscheinlich. Are good examples.
Gar nicht bestellt. Sorry.
The German was coming out of both of us.
I, I thought I've ordered my food and then I got a notification. Did you forget to order?
Was inting. So,
Hmm.
do you have anything about yourself that you want to reflect about? Or should we go
Mm,
on with the next point where we talk about how it is to actually make a social media project?
I definitely have to get use more of my anime knowledge in the podcast because you can clearly hear that I'm not that much talker about the anime, and you're the guy who says the most about the animes or mangas.
Yes. You
I
should come
mean,
out of your shell.
the animes that I know, I can definitely say something about them, and that I really like. Yeah.
Yes, we just need to use more shows, unique shows as examples. I think this
Mhm.
would help. This will help a lot.
Yeah, it would definitely.
Then should we go on to what's the next talking point?
Hmm.
So on to the next talking point. How is it to do a podcast and social media content besides posting some random pics from yourself from some holidays, obviously? To do
Uh,
to have a kind of weekly schedule when you're doing stuff and
mm.
preparing things.
Well, it's. I mean, I had a streaming account on YouTube where I stream, but you definitely don't need any scripting, cutting or something. It's just live.
I did not know that.
Yes, I have a streaming YouTube account,
Ah, yeah.
which which I don't stream anymore, or maybe I will someday again. When I have when I it's mood it's definitely from my mood. If I have the mood to stream, then I will stream again. Yeah, but not if I not, then I won't. Um, so I'm definitely somewhat into the social media um, type, but I didn't produce shorts where I use scripts where I cutted videos, and yeah, it's definitely a new experience, even though I was into the social media. Yes, that's what I can say about it.
It's for me because I'm a boomer. I consume a lot of social media, but I'm not the guy who writes comments, posts stuff, and so on. So that's why I also think talk a lot about, or talk a lot more than you, because I don't have friends that I can talk about that much with about anime besides some normie shows. So I think that I'm using a podcast as a vehicle to talk about my thoughts and feelings about certain things a lot more. That's why I find it quite interesting and like it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is really fun to make.
Yes, to just have a buddy that you can talk about once a week about your hobby. That's very enjoyable. Plus, with writing scripts and thinking about certain themes or topics, you can reflect about your hobby a lot more and how you
Yes.
think things. Because when you're thinking about something a bit more critically and about a bit more, then maybe your point of view changes for better or for worse. Who knows?
And at first, I was very strong with uploading stuff. Then I got really lazy, And nowadays I'm more adapted to it,
Yes,
let's say.
you need to learn the craft of making videos. I mean, we are not good at it, but we know the basics at least.
Mm. And I was the random 3 a.m. Motivation boost made me make this one shot that was really good, in my opinion.
Yes, from the craft it was good, but should I call you out on that or should I not do it?
What do you want to say?
The shows that you picked for the short were questionable. Because you haven't watched some all of those.
And it's also what I feared
Yes, what the
online and stuff,
community says. Yes, yes.
and a little bit of help from a specific AI.
Yes, yes. But that's also a big thing for me. If I recommend something, I have need to watch it. So, but that's only personal opinion. Then, do you have anything else about your experiences in making actually social media content? Or are we done with this topic?
Like sometimes when I upload that I comment or like other posts, so it's some time consuming. Yeah, it's time consuming at times.
Yes.
Uh, I mean, our uh, recording is over an hour long, so 1 hour less a day.
Per week. You
Yeah,
mean? Yes.
yes.
That's why I see our recording sessions just like when are just talking about something, having a random talking session. It makes it a lot easier. It's just like meeting a friend somewhere and talking about anime and manga.
Yeah.
Let's make it easier to cope with that.
Mm.
Then should should we go on with the hot takes or
Yeah, we can definitely go on. Yeah.
so? My hot take is quite fitting for a roasting episode because people have forgotten that both anime and manga at heart are about finding other people to share their passion with, not just arguing about XYZ for particularly no reason. 99% of discussion nowadays, as a medium, both anime and manga, are stuff that we are supposed to foremost enjoy. And at the same time, we also need to recognize the good, the bad, and the things we like about that certain work. Something that a lot of people have just forgotten. You can really have a good dialogue with most people because most people don't understand how to analyze or read/understand something. I think this hot take is really fitting for a roast episode because it is really hard to have a discussion with someone online. I don't do it, but I read a lot of discussions, and the anime manga community is really toxic. That's why I think it's a hot take because we need to get back to what the commenters said, and that the shows are just there to be enjoyed and not to measure your dick size online because I like Shonen X above Shonen about Shonen Z, and that's why I am a better person than you. Or I read seinen, good story. I'm smart, you monkey, you like Shonen. Do you agree or do you disagree?
This awkward silence.
Yes.
Um, I definitely agree with that.
Yes. I think
Um,
it's a hot take because it should be obvious, but it isn't.
yes, true. Yeah. Anime are there for people to relax, enjoy it. It's like when you watch a cartoon or something, you want to have a good time to think about other things, not just your life, your work, your family, and so on.
Yes, you want to cope with something, get some distance from whatever, and you should not watch something to argue with people online and say, "Oh, I'm a better person than you because I've read this or watched this."
Mm.
Then, if you don't have anything else, my quote unquote hot takes is done. Because you can argue that's a hot take, but I think it was a fitting take for at least a roasting episode. So that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to include it.
Yeah. Ugh.
I see my hot take was very exciting. Maybe
Mm.
yours is more exciting. Read it out.
Yes. My hot take is about Shangri-La Frontier. Um, it was under Shangri-La Frontier. Yeah, recension. Uh, What do you call it?
Review.
Review. Um, One of those series that should have stuck with one season. We all know what I'm talking about. This season only exists because season 1 was a success, not because this is any good. They are making another season out of something popular, that's it. There's nothing actually good here. Nothing remains of what made season 1 good. There's no focus of Sanlaku managing his debuff or actually getting stronger, and the entire Lucaron fight thing looks like it might be for season 12 at this rate. And I can definitely not agree with this guy who wrote this because I'm quite enjoying season 2. I mean, it's definitely not as good as season 1 so far. So far.
So
Is
far, the point, because this comment will age like milk.
mm, I mean, Nikolai is reading the manga. He has definitely some more expertise.
Yes, but I'm not going to spoil you.
And
For context, I just told Tukai that something hype will happen in the next episodes.
mm,
That's it.
and I mean, Shangri-La Frontier was in season 2 about other games too. He played other games in season 1 too.
The bug trashy fighting game.
Yeah. So we had this robo thingy fight game,
Yes.
and I mean, now there are basically three main characters, or three side, two side characters with Katsu and Pentagon, but it's still the main focus on Sanraku. I don't know what he means with what was the sentence? There's no focus on Sanraku managing his debuff or actually getting stronger.
I mean, he's still a glass cannon. That thing it did not change. He's
Yeah.
basically a one hit when a strong enemy comes. Still the
Hmm.
same
Uh,
problem.
you can see that with the golden crystal scorpion.
Yes. I
He
was
would
this
have
thing
get
already in the anime.
yeah.
This was really funny
Yes.
because, come on, be real. When you've played probably some open world games, right?
Hmm.
You're always cheesing the enemies to die because of fall damage. That's a staple. This was so
Yeah.
funny. It's a classic game move.
Hmm. So yeah, I don't agree with this guy, and it's definitely a hot take.
Yes. Plus, there's one thing that people who are only watching anime don't know, that most animes are based on a manga, obviously. And if a manga, for me, for example, Shangri-La Frontier is right now 18 or 19 volumes. If a manga is 18 or 19 volumes, there has to be something that makes a manga good, probably.
Mm.
And there needs to be a reason that why the show is that long. So there's obviously a reason why there's season 2, and the hype scene is coming. It's really close. I
Mm,
haven't watched
okay.
season 2, but when the hype scene comes, I'm definitely watching. That's it.
Is it about the one this monster thingy that's the boss type?
I am not going to spoil you. It's a really hype fight. Nothing more. I'm not going to talk about more.
I think I know what is gonna come.
Are
I
you
mean, it
sure?
got.
Are you sure about that? Because it comes quite surprisingly.
I mean, it got teased a little bit, and he wants to start this mission.
You mean the mission where they're going towards Valhalla?
Yes.
Then you not know what's going to come.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. I think I've concluded it.
Yes. On to either or questions.
Mm.
Should I start or do you want to start?
You started, so you can start again.
Okay. It's an either or question for the Romance connoisseur.
Mm.
Would you either watch a show about people getting together and forming a relationship, or people being together and having a relationship and seeing their struggles and how their relationship is happening?
I mean, I said it already. I'm currently single, so I would. I'm definitely currently more interested into how to get into a relationship, how others get into relationships, so I can have some advice on the real life. I mean, anime are not any tips for how to get a relationship. You probably should know that.
Yes, but you're still thinking about it.
Yes. And if I would be in a relationship, then I would definitely enjoy to watch others' relationship, how they grow, how they get around fights or something like that. Yeah.
I'm on the other side, even though I don't have a relationship, but anime and manga market is so oversaturated with people having not a relationship and the will they, won't they, and the harem genre and so on, that it's just refreshing to read about people who have a relationship. For example, in my newest short, I read a girls' love manga, not Yuri like the one that you saw, where we have two college students that who started a relatively quick a relationship, and then the story is about their relationship. I think that's quite refreshing. So, because of the oversaturation, I'm currently in the camp where I want to read more stories that are about a relationship. That's
Hmm.
also why I ask you about the Shoto or Jose question, because this demographic tends to get faster into the relationship stuff than shonen.
I see.
Then you can ask your question.
Okay. For my question, I have a safe answer that I would choose, but I want to hear yours. Would you either live in the world of Attack on Titan or live in the world of Tokyo Ghoul?
Hmm. I mean, firstly, I only have read half of Attack on Titan. Well, I've read the entire
But
Tokyo Ghoul
yes, but you know what it's about, and you know the premise.
premises. I do think Tokyo Ghoul is better because we are not in a post-apocalyptic state. While in Attack on Titan, there's basically no civilization. Towards the point where I've read, where we need to be cowering into walls and be scared of the Titans. While the ghouls, yes, they are a problem, but we still live in our society with our civilization. And yes, this argument might sound dumb, but where is the difference when I'm walking around the street and some random guy knifes me to death and when some ghoul eats me,
True.
compared to when I live in a world without civilization, technology, and needs to fear giant monsters who can wreck the city every day.
Mm.
Then what's your safe answer?
So I don't want to spoil you on Attack on Titan, but there's definitely civilization.
I know a lot of spoilers because normie show.
Mhm. Yes, there's a civilization outside of the walls,
Yes, I know that
and
the words that are coming with that and yada yada yada.
and there's also peace on the other islands or other countries. But I think it would be safe if you are far away from the rumbling. But I would still rather go with Tokyo Ghoul because, yeah, ghouls aren't that much of the population, so you could definitely survive that. And even so, if a ghoul would attack me, I would beg to become a ghoul myself. So, yeah, I would want to become a ghoul myself then.
So you're not dead and turning
Yeah,
into a carnivore basically.
yes, and I have super strong powers, and I'm superior than human then. Yeah.
Then do you have any progress that you want to talk about?
Uh,
Because I think you're finished with your hot take, right?
yeah, I am. As I'm concerned, I've completed the first half of season 3 from ReZero because it's now finished the first part.
Yes, I heard that there's a pause.
I hate it and I'm very mad at it. So yeah. Yeah, other than that, I don't have any big progress, I would say. I'm watching just the currently airing anime this season and Bokuben.
Yes,
So
I've
nothing more.
watched 2 episodes of your recommendation, but to make a real judgment, I should at least watch half of episode 1, half of season 1.
Half of episode 1, yes.
Yes, quick judgment provided. So I think I'm going to
Yeah,
talk about it next episode. But I've
yes.
read some banger volume ones. There was also something that I maybe recommending to you. It's Kindergarten Wars. It's a action show and it was really funny. So when you need something to read, or have you already read it?
No, because are they Kinder who fight with like plastic toys and so on?
No, no. There are some bad criminals who need to guard the kindergarten of rich and famous people. And if they guard the kindergarten correctly and be the kindergarteners, their sentence in prison is getting reduced. It was in
Oh,
the first package of my advents calendar.
so it's like Suicide Squad, ba- somewhat.
A bit, yes.
Na, Digga!
What was that?
Aha. Leipzig führt 2-0.
He's watching football on the second screen.
Yes. And I betted money on the goal that's the team that's losing.
Oof, oof. Big L.
Yeah.
So maybe if I don't find something else, that could be a possible recommendation for you to read. And I also read Mariah's Judgment. This was a banger revenge story, volume 1. It's about a wholesome, nice mother whose child gets bullied to death by certain assholes, and she gets triggered so hard with Earth that she's going to the school where the bullies were as a nurse and is exacting revenge. The first volume was so satisfying. I think that's it for the notable progress that I have or cool things that I wanted to talk about. Then, what will we do in the next episode?
Next episode, we will talk about All for Us.
Arthas.
Or yes, authors or artists.
Or
I mean, you
staff.
could
I think
both
we
of
sh-
them.
I think we should include staff members or even how's the term? Not musicians, but people who do the OSTs.
Yes.
In general, people who work in the industry.
Yeah. This will be our next episode.
Yes, it's a good one.
Hmm. So yeah, I hope you guys will stay tuned for the next episode where we talk about authors and production of animes.
Yes. Funnily enough, I said in this episode that I shouldn't talk about the examples that I always mention, and next episode, Boichi and Shinichi Sakamoto will be mentioned again
Yeah.
because it's about authors. So, yes, I can't do anything about it. It's not my fault. I did not propose this idea.
No, it was my idea all along.
Yes. Then have a nice whatever time of your day.
Yes. Join in for the next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.